Hey guys, it's Steve here. I was asked by somebody if I could show what gear I use in all my civilizations, plus the tech, plus the advisors. So, here's the Greek. I apologize now for the static. The microphone's not the best whatsoever. Let's start with the gear. Okay, almost all my buildings are going to have these walls. My co-op partner convinced me to use them. Best thing ever. So my farms, I use these walls, and I like to build them quickly. Now, when it comes to my town center, you'll see this on all, and when I say all, I mean all my civilizations. Some people want a town center that is strong to kill people. Not me. I want it to do the other way. I want it to be able to take abuse. We have our Ares manual. Best thing in the game, period. Where is it? I have so much crap. This is broken, people. This does not work. This is flawed. Do not use it. Do not buy it. I wasted 10K. It's useless. And even if it does work, okay, this might be faster train time, but there is no research time. With there being no research time, that means all your researches, your upgrades in any building, including your town center to age, is gone. So even this is better. Even the 7.1 is better because you age quicker, you build your research faster for everything, including armory and all those things where you need research time. This is garbage. Don't buy it, don't use it, and when it works, throw it away. Okay, I built this. My town centers are defensive base. You want to take a lot of abuse. I'm angry they nerfed this wall. I got these arrows. Add on to that health, but it adds to maximum range. And everybody knows what this bow is. This civilization I have Kevith. You know, great hammer. Nobody can argue with it. If you can't afford Kevith, Craftsman's hammer is what you need. Okay? If you can't afford, there's 3 hammers, and this is the order that they go by. It goes Kevith, Construction hammer, and then Craftsman hammer. Now, some people might argue with me that the tree, something or another, I can't think of it, is better. But in my opinion, that's the order. And the Craftsman hammer is cheap and craftable. Greek is wood based, so wood chitin is what I have. This is better than Plato's tools. Let's look at them. Plato's tools is a little less, okay, in train time. Here it is. But it gives you line of sight, which is great. But if you are like me and you just want to build these suckers quickly, this is what you use. Pikemen. My Greek, think of my state of mind for a minute. My Greek infantry are only for one thing: to take abuse and to slow down the enemy so the gastros and the toxins can do all the good stuff, right? So, snare, you still want them to hurt them, so, of course, DPS armor, and a good gauntlet. Now my hot plates, same concept, just age 4. Snare, health shield, best one in the game, good legend armor, and the greaves, the best 4th slot for health. Ramses are not this good. This is the best. It slows you down to a crawl. But if you want a meat shield on any unit, these work wonders. You'll be surprised, but you're slow. Now if you want a faster unit, I give them the blade with the most damage, give them an Ares war shield, and yes, I have one of these on this civilization already. course, APOC armor and boots. This man's made to go fast and hit and run. Let's go down to the next. Toxins are a good infantry unit. I like the new bow they have with the 21% range, but it lacks something. Enough punch. If you want it on something and you can't afford this, then get it. But if you can get this bad boy, get it. Because with this bow and these arrows, you're going to peg a lot of things. Some people would use different tunics. I just threw this on him. It works. And plus, a good gauntlet. Now, this is the best sword in the game. I don't care what people say. I am out of the box thinker in a lot of things. People like critical. More crit the better. 3 times more. Sure, fine, whatever. Have it your way. The good thing about critical is if your guy does 50% DPS, there is a chance that you're going to do 150 DPS. That's fine and dandy. But that critical's so low with these things, it's a waste of your time. Sadly, the sword does not drop right now. I cry. I'm sad. Nothing you can do about it. But this is the sword I use. Plus the shield. I'm looking for a level 39. I keep looking. I haven't found it yet, but it's out there. But if I really want health, I have this one in reserve. And the training sword is in the gear hall just to be saved. If I do use a hip, I'd use this. Pelts, I'm just going to go let you see real quick. I don't use pelts. They're useless to me. And this is even more useless. And so is the ram. And then when it comes to a ballista, ballistas are one thing in my mind, and it's pure power. That's why I use the siege armor of the elephant. More damage. Plates, big pack, and heavy cedar beams. Now some people are saying that the new arm is better. Alright. See the DPS? See it? 56.9. 57.1. It's stronger, but with no range, it's definitely not better. 1 minute. Sorry about that. Okay, where was I? Alright, did the ballistas. Alright, let's scroll down to the next. And we will look here at these buildings. As you see, I use these fortifications all the way down, and except the house. I feel that at least for every civilization besides the Celtics, because you have to upgrade, you gotta build houses, you know, to get to age 4. Build time is better than cost. I use 7.1, 7.1, 8.2. Looking for an 8.8, but this will do for now. 5.4. Don't use ships often, so never put a lot of time into it. And 7.1. Okie dokie. Alright, next group. As you see, I use these walls and most of them again. For the storehouse, I build it quickly instead of anything else. And 7.1, 7.1, the lookout, the watch post. Hand carved at not the max, but it's good enough. And the lookouts. Now when it comes to towers, Greek with their tech tree gets to be really cheap towers as it is, so I threw leg wall joints on there. And when you have a hammer that can build fast like the Kevith or like the construction hammer, it doesn't matter, but it's dirt cheap, very very cheap, especially with the tree and then the advisor. Oh my god, these things are like 40 stone each, or something like that. Ridiculous. Plus, of course, Titan walls. Now, some people go for range for their defenses. Not me. I'm the opposite. I want my defenses to, when a unit comes up, they get hit as hard as they can. I got this bow when it was first new to test it out. I don't like critical, but I'm not going to throw it away either. I'm going to put it onto something, you know. Now, going to my caravan. Caravans for me, for all my civilizations, are pure speed, not how much they can bring in, because if I can get to my partner's town center and back faster, I get resources faster. Common sense. So 3.3, 5.1, they just upgraded that, which is lovely. And then 4.2, fishing ships. The only two things on here that are a must for me: high food gathering and dirt cheap. 100 wood for a fishing ship sucks. Of course, speed if you can. I'm looking for Hades to put on there, so right now I just have something. My transport, of course, they need to move. Speed gear again. These are the best arrows in the game to speed. And then, of course, you know, you have some sails, unless you want to put legend oars on there, which cost a pretty good amount. This is 2.9 speed. There's a new armor out that is 4.2 or something like that. When it comes to my food, I'm gonna say speed again. I like to have some ragged armor though, because archers can peg him a little bit. My treams are just pretty much BS gear that I had left over and that I threw on. Now my Ballista treams are a range unit, so I get a good range arm, and of course range armor, and they're expensive, so I make sure they cost less. My forts hit at 266 DPS. Okay, they could hit harder if I had a better bow, but I use this bow because if infantry's going to come and hit my fort, I want to make sure it hurts. Cavalry's going to get to my fort no matter what. They move too quick. Now these arrows are just like Athena, is just a different name. Best arrows to put on here are the legend ones that I can't get my hands on, because every time I tried, people want $1 million for them or something ridiculous. So I'm keeping a lookout for them, but they're the legend arrows that I think they're 9% damage and something infantry damage. Of course, Wall of Titans, and build these suckers as fast as possible. Now, my paladins. We think range on these suckers too, but we don't want the dino arm on this, because the dino arm, it's not that it doesn't have great damage, because the damage sucks, but it doesn't hit often. They miss too much. So I use the Titan arm, plus the runic, plus the heavies, and sometimes, if I'm really wanting to do damage against a building, I put that on. Matters. My scouts, line of sight gear, all the way. Some people go for speed, I go for line of sight. Forget the wonder. This unit is useless for me, never use them, just extra stuff I had, threw it on there. Okay, we'll skip them for now. We'll go to fire ships. These fire ships with the oil, legendary oil, own everything. Health plates, and of course the hull. Now, there is one better thing to put on there for for those, because some people play pirates, and the one thing that always screws up my ships, but because I have such high DPS it doesn't matter. Alright, that's not going to load. And can we say bugs? Okay. Right there. Siege armor. You want siege armor if you're doing pirates. Me, doesn't matter to me, because my armor is high and my ships can do enough damage. But for people that can't have that oil flask, get that legendary armor. It will save a lot of those ballista streams from hitting you and hurting you. This load's going to take a minute. I might have a frickin' 6-core processor, but I have a lot of crap in my city. Alright, back to the gear hall. Then back to the Gastros. Everybody's favorite unit in the game. I have a Zeus. Not the best. Still looking though. Range arrows. Just got this, baby. I'm so happy. I've been working a 35 forever. And the new gauntlets. I like them because it makes my unit cheaper. I've never used any gauntlet to improve health. I've always used this helmet because my Gastros cannot see the maximum range. A lot of people use forts, outposts, paladins behind them, other units in front of them to get that a little extra range, which is okay to do. What I do right now, because this is the gear I use in Soli runs, an outpost will give me that little extra line of sight. We will jump to my technology. I'm a wood-based civilization, so berries, wood, some gold, just in case. My co-op partner taught me, caravans all the way, screw the resources. It's hard to do, but he's right. And of course my walls, fully upgraded. My tree technology, fully upgraded for this bonus right here. My town center, all of it. I even use that, because in legendaries, my villagers can take 3 hits from a cavalry unit. That's right, before they die. Military, as you see, I'm fully upgraded in ranged weapons and siege. In all my civilizations, I have the market completely upgraded for this trickle rate. Doesn't seem like much money, but after a long period of time, it adds up quickly, and it is worth it. Also, all this is fully upgraded. I want to be able to say, when I put my units out in the field, that they are the strongest they possibly can be. Forts, you know, gotta have that. And when I said about cheaper towers, I mean cheaper towers, 20% less. Now, a little quick thing about the advisors is my age 1 advisors, a lot of people use Phil. A lot of people use her, Irene. But I use him. 10 food less, crank him out quicker. Now when it comes to age 2, that varies. Me, I've used him before. Man, in Celtics, he's awesome. Your caravans move 10. That's right, 10. She's who I use most of the time. Sometimes I use Penny Pincher. Village Elder is also a huge favorite. Age 3, we all want this guy right here. I have rares in the rest of them, but only epic here. Right here, guard towers 30% less stone. Remember when I said cheaper? This is one of those units that you can throw on there. Alright. I went the wrong way like a dork. Alright. He helps if you're infantry based. Build the fortresses much faster. There's controversy with Cosmos. Most of you guys don't have a Zeus bow. And that's okay. And I understand that. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's hard to find. I got my Zeus bow back in November for 10K. I got lucky. Pure luck. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no skill in that. He only works on infantry units. Okay? Doesn't say that. But at least in legendaries, he only works on infantry units. And ragged units, so archers, pelts, gastros. But here's the tricky thing. Let's say you're running Soli. If you hit an infantry unit in Soli at the very beginning, at the very furthest of its range, you'll snare them for a split second. You won't even really notice it. By the time you get your second shot off, you hit them before they ever get to you. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have this guy and you have a Zeus bow, use him, because you'll get 2 shots in compared to people that use Titan. They only can get 1 in. Now, I have not tested this guy with Titan bow, but for what I've been told by other community people, that he doesn't work, that they don't see a difference. I do when I use him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it doesn't work with the other bows. All I know is it works with Zeus, because you have longer range and ability to get that second shot in, and they never touch you. Age 4 is tricky. It's just tricky. Everybody uses Teemo. Everybody uses Bolt Carrier if they have them. Fort Visor, but mostly #1 used probably has to be him. I think that pretty much covers it. Xeno's pretty good too. He can be fun to use, but is wasteful, really. Now, if any of you have questions, tell me that I sound like a retard on here, go for it, I don't care. I know it's staticky. I'm making this, and I'm going to make 3 more for all civilizations, so you guys can see what I have and understand the pros and the cons of everything. If you have any questions, hit me up, ask me. I have no problem helping you all out. You guys have a good night. Bye.